time to start your path forward now. Would you rather work out from home in your nice little safe room? Or would you rather go to a gym and get a little bit more progress out than what you could from at home? Either way is not the wrong answer. You can either work out from home or at the gym. If you have a bit of social anxiety or something like that, like I had when I started out, don't worry, it happens. It's a little hard sometimes, so I understand. All I did, I started from home. My journey started from home. I actually didn't even work out for like my first year of losing weight. I just watched my entire diet, and then the heat kind of just melted off all of it for me. Just doing my calories, watching my diet got me down to a good weight, and then I bulked up from there using my plan I figured out. And all this is like a little cheat sheet, just like a little guide for everyone who's beginning. Like, I wish I had this when I was beginning. That's how lucky you are. So allow me to take you through this journey, and we will give you some nice little information to pop off that mind for bulking season. I was saying though, either way does work. You can either go to the gym or just work out from home. Either way works, but working out from home will give you more comfort in your environment. Meanwhile, working out at the gym will give you a lot faster progress. So just a warning there. If you go to the gym, I promise you will get a lot more results than working out from home. Unless you have home gym equipment, then don't listen to what I say. If you have home gym equipment, just do your own thing. Just chill out and just pump iron, man. That's all I can say. But now, getting into it, our next step would be your nutrition plan. You got to get everything set up for nutrition. You got to get everything set up to basically your calorie intake, your protein intake. Make sure you're getting enough stuff to build back that muscle you killed during that entire workout program. So that's going to be our next step, and we're going to go ahead and get started right into that. Okay, so you've decided where you want to work out at. Now, your next step would be to set up a plan. You need at least some sort of protein plan to get started with. So, what type of meal plan would you be looking at? Really, let me just put an entire list up real quick of all the proteins you can use, any protein possible. It's a long list. I'll also have a little sheet for y'all as well afterwards that you can just click on, and it should have all the information that you will need for your gym journey. But I'd suggest getting a calorie tracker or some sort of app to track your nutrition plan. Aside from that, as long as you're building protein and protein maxing, that is the key to getting bigger. Make sure you're just getting your daily protein intake, or at least a little bit more, just to build that muscle back even faster. Usually, more muscle means more metabolism. The more you build up your muscle, the faster you're going to burn off the fat itself, because your body's going to be using more of the carbs and your energy to pretty much just use those muscles in general. The more muscle you have, the more energy you're going to be using. Just a heads up there. If you're big, like if you have even a lot of muscle like I do, then it's literally, you're going to have to eat a lot. I'm not kidding. So cutting is absolute hell for me. I'll explain cutting later, but it is hell if you want to look like shredded as hell, like social influencers, social media influencers, just professional bodybuilders, anyone like that. If you want to look shredded as hell, you're going to have to really suffer for it. I'm just going to have to put it straight like that. But if you want something like probably my physique, it might be a little bit of an intense training at first, even here and there. But it's nothing like putting yourself through hell, I'll say that. You don't have to like kill yourself just to get crazy shredded. But you'll at least have muscle thinness, I'll tell you that. You will be stronger, you will be way stronger than what you were when you started. As far as protein goes, as I was explained, the whole list and everything, it's more of your meats and all that. But aside from all your meat, all your protein intake, you're also going to have to probably, if you want to speed up your metabolism, get greens like vegetables, get greens to speed up the entire digesting system, and I would advise to also eat fruits. Obviously, you need your fruits for carbs. Fruits are the best for energy. If you want the most energy, I would advise get you a little smoothie from a smoothie place, like I always do, or just eat a bunch of fruits. A bunch of fruits are very nice. Any fruit works. Any type of fruit, I'm pretty sure. They all give you different vitamins, though, if you want to look at those. I will have to go a little bit more detail. I'll look into that and put that in the sheet afterwards for the details on that. But yeah, any fruit works for carbs, and they are nutritious for carbs. Meanwhile, carbs are responsible for also how the pump looks at the end of the day. The pump will look absolutely crazy the more carbs you have. If you go into the gym after eating a bunch of carbs, or even drinking a bunch of water and then just downing fruit and carbs, you're going to look crazy. I promise you're going to look in that mirror. It's just going to be some type of a veiny animal you've never seen before. You're just going to have like triple vein just going down your biceps. You're going to look magnificent, and you're just going to be sitting there like, damn, this is me now. But I promise that feeling will come soon enough. As for the timing of food in your nutrition plan, I would advise eating a little bit before, just like a hour or two before you go work out, just so you'll have energy for the workout itself. Because if you get you a good workout in and then also eat probably your protein and take creatine afterwards, if you take creatine, that's also going to be a subject for later. Usually afterwards, I take mine afterwards. It's really effective afterwards, but I'm pretty sure if you just take it anytime around when you work out, you'll be fine. Just go ahead, eat a bunch of protein after you work out or around when you work out, and it'll build itself back up. Or even within a day. I'm pretty sure if you just eat that protein within a day and even work out later on, you'll build that back within a night. Just make sure you're getting around probably 7 hours, 7 to 10 hours of sleep. I wouldn't even go far as 10, probably 7 to 9 hours of sleep. If you do 7 to 9 hours of sleep, at least that's what works for me. It's going to be different for everyone. Find your sleep schedule. Make sure you're sleeping, because sleeping is what burns off your calories and helps regenerate your muscle. So if you're not sleeping, you aren't building anything. I promise. It might feel like it at first. You might be getting a little stronger, but you're not getting as much as you thought you could, as much as you need, as much as you can. Usually, all together, to sum it up, there's about 3 macros you gotta focus on. That's gonna be your protein, your carbs, and your fat. If you focus on those 3 the most, that's gonna be the most beneficial. You also can focus on the micros as well. The micros will give you the most energy output. Focusing your micros for energy output, macros will help you build the muscle and lose the fat. On the other hand, I do have a lot of videos and references that I can refer to you to go ahead and help you out. That goes into way deeper reference about the macros and micros than I do. So if you have any questions on that, you can feel free to check out those videos as well, or even just reach out to me for more information. All right, that should be everything we need to cover in this plan. So we're going to go ahead and go over to the next step.
What are you doing?
Don't you know? You always have to go till failure.
What? Dude, just prioritize your form. That's all you have to do. Okay, well, I guess I'll try this. Oh my gosh. I can't get it.
Oh, I think you were right.
Quality over quantity, man. Anyway, I gotta get back to teaching these videos now. As I was saying, yes, prioritize form over numbers. You don't have to go till failure every time. It's just a little extra sets really at that point. There's actually like a certain amount of sets you can get before it starts to like just being junk sets, but Jeff Nipper's already gone over that. He has an entire video explaining the entire form over efficiency, like form over sets. You don't need quality over quantity, basically. Quality over quantity is the way to go. You got to get that stretch in the muscle to rebuild it. But as I said, I have a bunch more references. I have like 3 to 4 different videos covering the exact same thing. So there's plenty of information to spare there if you are more intrigued on how to work the forms, how to basically take correct form when working out from each machine or from home even. But I'll leave those down below in the chart and we'll go ahead and get to the next step. All right, on step 4, it is going to be the timing of your protein and creatine, which we talked a little bit before. Usually after or before the workout would be best. For creatine, which is recommended for 18 and up, I take creatine every other day, but I take like 10 grams every other day. So usually it's recommended like up to 5 grams a day could be just fine. But it is known to also build a tolerance. That's why I kind of take on cycles, off cycles, just to see how my body responds, pretty much. And right now I'm on an off cycle. This is me without the creatine. It's been like a couple weeks. It's been like 3 weeks, just about, almost a month now. So almost a month off of creatine. I haven't really taken it consistently like I did about a couple months ago. But I am definitely going to have to hop back on that for bulking season when I have to bulk right back up, when I'm planning on bulking back up. But yeah, if anyone else is planning on bulking up, I would recommend creatine. The best time to take that would be probably in the middle of the day before workout. Just as long as you have it in your system consistently, you're going to be fine with muscle regeneration, and just in general, just working out is going to be a lot easier. What the hell is my hair doing? Okay, hang on. Okay, as I was saying, the timing of protein and creatine can be different. Creatine, I would advise a little bit before workout. Protein would probably be a little bit after, and then sleep with that protein. Like usually with a full stomach, I like to go to sleep with like big stomach. You know, just I overeat right before I sleep. It's a bad habit, but I mean, It works. I would not suggest overeating and then going to sleep. It's uncomfortable, but I digest pretty fast, so it goes away after a few minutes. And then once you get all that creatine and protein intake taken care of, if you consistently keep up with that in your meal plan and keep up with your creatine, you're going to see the results very fast. Those two together, I kid you not, are the best combination in bodybuilding you can possibly take, other than steroids. But we're not talking about that. Pretty much cover on the creatine part. I don't really have much to cover on creatine. If you want a lot more deeper analysis on that, I do have videos for creatine intake, or if you're just curious in general, or if you just don't have a reason for taking it. If you just like think it's dangerous or anything like that, I do have a bunch of videos explaining what creatine is and what it actually does for you. You don't have to take it, it's all your choice. But altogether, I do have videos on that, and for the protein intake, I have videos on that too. So everything's going to be probably in the file that comes along with the course. Just literally just click on that, just open that up. It should have all the links, should have even more in a deeper description in my words. I'm going to go ahead and go into even deeper facts on that. And then just there should be video links and everything. It's just video links to every information you'll ever need. Just go back, just study that. You can just, if you have any questions or anything, you can easily just reach out to me or just check out the rest of the course. Alright, next up, we do have a different approach to weight loss. This one is going to be fasting. This one I would not recommend doing unless you've talked to your physician about it, and you pretty much just make sure you're doing it in the healthiest way possible, because this can lead to really unhealthy results. But fasting is pretty much if you just go without eating. This is a really good way to speed up your metabolism, but at the same time, you can also... It's not healthy, I will say that. It will basically eat away at your muscle and probably just your nutrients that you need to even survive. So just a little warning on that. If you do go the fasting route, at least just see a physician on it first, and just make sure you know what you're doing before going into it, because fasting is a little bit more on the extreme route if you want to get that weight loss, but it does work. I promise you. If nothing else is working, fasting is probably what you'll have to do just to get your body used to not eating, and then once it starts eating away at that fat, you'll get your body used to taking away that fat only instead of eating away your muscles too. Aside from that, fasting I would only recommend if you are one-on-one with the physician, and if they are there to help you with that, or if they recommend you can fast. If they're fine with it, then go right ahead. Fasting would be probably your best choice if nothing else is working. Aside from that, fasting is not a good way because you cannot get your protein intake. If you don't have no protein, your muscle can't keep up. Basically your muscle is just gonna go flat. It can't keep up. It can't keep up with the regeneration, all that you're doing, even though. So when you're fasting, you don't have no carbs, you don't have no protein, you have nothing to run on. So it's just eating away constantly at your body's like material. It'll eat at your fat. It'll eat away your muscle while you're working. So fasting is just one of the last things I recommend. Just watch out if you do it, but it is also a way to burn fat. Cardio is probably another thing I would like to talk about. Cardio, if you think that if cardio is a reason you're not into working out, there's a way around that. You don't have to always do cardio. Cardio is more like a side thing. I'm not saying don't do cardio. Cardio is more of a healthier choice. If you want to be healthier all around, cardio is the way to go, but it's not necessary if you actually need to lose weight. It might sound surprising, but it's going to help a lot faster losing weight, but it's not necessary. If you just like get in there, just lift weights, if you just go really hard at weights, I promise you, if weightlifting will get your weight up. I know that doesn't make sense. Weightlifting will help you lose weight. Weightlifting will sweat your weight off just as much as cardio does. Either way, you're exerting energy and your body's going to be pushing out all those calories that you basically took in throughout the day, and you're going to be tearing that muscle either way. Cardio just helps you with your calories and helps burn that off even more, just to make sure you get that burned off. But it is not necessary, though it is recommended at least twice a week. But at first, starting cardio, I'm not going to lie, it's ass. Starting cardio at first is ass. Meanwhile, that should be everything we need to cover for this. If cardio is really the reason why you're not starting, then try weightlifting. And if you don't like weightlifting, then probably even fasting to start from there if you just don't work out, because either way will work. Just it gets unhealthier as you go. One has benefits, one has cons. Whichever way you take is not the wrong answer. It's just really up to you, or whichever is your preference, whichever one you think would work best for you. Meanwhile, that should be everything I had to cover in this entire lesson. There should just be one more step after this, and then you guys should be on your journey. Okay, you've made it to the final step of the course. So, altogether, all this would not matter without the final and most important part of working out. Being consistent. Yeah, if you don't want it, you probably are just gonna give up altogether. I'm just gonna be completely truthful. You've got to want it. If you want a chiseled body, if you want muscles, veiny arms, just the Greek god body. Let's call it the Greek god body. If you just want to absolutely be chiseled Greek god body, you got to work for it. If you don't want it, or if you just absolutely just think you ain't gonna make it past just like a month, or if you just want to try it for a month, you ain't gonna make it. I'm just gonna say it right now. Unless you have just some good willpower. If you have enough willpower to just push it through the first month, or if you just absolutely love it, then there you go. You have a passion. But aside from that, you just discipline's going to be your base. Motivation is going to be your structure. So if you're just disciplined at it, make yourself always go. I'm actually lacking in this currently because I've skipped like a week. I've been shifting my discipline. You gotta kind of have work-life balance. You gotta have basically just all of it figured out. You gotta balance your time in a way. But once you get your time balanced, I promise you the gym will be an easy necessity of your day. It's gonna be an easy part of your life. You're just gonna be used to going every day. Not even every day, just like every other day. That's what I used to do. I would do every 2 days as my workout plan. I would just work out every 2 days, and it wasn't even every 2 days. It was every other day. I just worked out every other day. I said screw it, every other day. I was like, I'll be consistent if I just go every other day. If I don't go the day before, just go after, and then every other day, and then eventually it just kept building up and building up and building up, and then just here I am. Every other day is a good way to start. Is a good way to get to. After a while, it's a good program in my opinion. It's just kind of exhausting because you're just like, man, I have to go tomorrow, and then it's a rest day, and then you're just like, and you're like, man, I gotta go again. It's just on and off, but it's consistent. It is consistent. I'm not gonna lie. I did like it. I just didn't have the time for it. So pretty much just work around your program. Find something that you like. Just work your program, refine your program. Basically, just study the list. I have all my all the chart for you. I have all the video references if you ever just want to study those for your form, for nutrition ideas, for protein. Just make sure to study your macros, your micros, just anything you need for energy boost or protein. Just rebuilding protein, killing off that muscle. No. Yeah, just basically rebuilding your muscle and killing off that fat. On the other note, another thing I do want to cover as well is find motivation. The motivation I was talking about, the base is your discipline. You got to stay disciplined to do it, but your structure, your motivation. Look at all my motivation. I think we all know by now why I'm so motivated. I'm always filled with big, strong men around me. Look at this. I got Spider-Man. I got Spider-Man behind me. I got Goku right here. I like Pokemon. I just like having armies of critters. Ooh, we got Luffy over here. Attack on Titan. That's just full of big, like, Titan monsters, bro. Like, find your motivation. Like, it's silly. It's really a silly thing for me to say, but just find your motivation. Literally, just find whatever motivates you. As you see, I have motivation all around me. I like anime, so just seeing a bunch of, like, having an anime physique in a way just is really nice to see. I can actually put myself into an anime if I want, and I'd probably look like I belong there. That's because I've wanted to see that for a long time, and it like makes me shed a tear every time I see it. But now, just find motivation. Just whatever you like, whatever inspires you. Just find motivation, inspiration. Not even just make sure you're still using discipline though. if it all comes under discipline. If you don't make yourself do it, then you won't do it. You just gotta get in that brain of yours, just rewire it to say, hey, I got to do this. It's part of my life now. You just gotta make it your lifestyle. But aside from that, I believe that should be covered. That should be everything we need to cover for motivation and inspiration. And if you're looking for any motivation and inspiration, I'm also the type of guy. I'm also your guy. I'm awesome. Come to my YouTube channel. I think that's pretty much everything. As always, guys, I put quite a bit of work into this course and website. Please go ahead and tell your friends. I hope you all have an amazing day, an amazing week, or an amazing weekend. Be consistent. If you don't be consistent, you won't make it. That's just the hard truth. I'm sorry to tell you. You have to hear it from someone. It's going to be me. If you don't stay consistent, someone will come after you. Probably him. Everyone take care.